Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nitty Gritty to Balance podcast. I'm your host, Abigail, and joining us each episode is my mom, Stacy, a holistic health coach and intuitive. Each week, we discuss topics through the lens of her work and subspecialties to bring to light the balance in the everyday. So, with that, let's bring in the brains behind the balance and get this episode started. Well, everyone.
Welcome to 2026.
2026.
We're here.
It's the long-awaited 1 year.
It feels good.
Oddly, not oddly, but yeah, it feels good. Wrapping up 2025, and we talked about this in previous episodes, the momentum at the end of 2025 was like nothing I've ever experienced before. It felt like things were just happening so quickly. And that's the holiday season, right? But beyond that, deeper than that.
It was way beyond that.
Yes.
Yeah. And for me, it was very much emotionally, energetically.
Yeah. I feel like I had a heavy emotional kind of front half, maybe 3/4 of the year. But the end of the year was really clarifying for me. Very beautiful. I'm very, very glad. Welcoming all of this positive, happy, good energy. The year of the snake is gone. The shedding, majority of it is hopefully gone.
Yeah, has happened, is maybe still a little bit happening. Because as we talked in one of our last episodes of 2025 is that, as that was coming to a close, moving into 2026, is that it's not this start and stop or this stop and start.
Yeah.
That year will blend in with this year.
And I think, too, that's kind of a point that I'm seeing a lot is how the calendar year is set to control us, and seeing a lot about how you're actually doomed from the start if you treat the new year kind of as we're conditioned to treat it, right? You go out on New Year's Eve, you drink a lot, you stay up really late, you're hungover on the first day of the year, or you don't get a start to your day, and you just kind of start the year in this weird
fog.
Yeah. And
not in a good, possibly healthy way.
Yeah. So it is really interesting to kind of see how society says to end and start the year, but
And not even how, but even when.
Yeah.
And so towards the end of this episode, I want to touch on that
Yeah.
before we move into the balance. But yeah, we'll definitely bring that back up. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, welcome back, everybody, to NGB. And this episode will be us reflecting on 2025.
Yeah, we
just jumped right in.
I was really just diving in. I've been waiting for this episode.
Yeah, we had talked about it a bit in some of our episodes towards the end of 2025 that we would sit down to reflect back on our lessons learned and what the 9-year showed up as for us in 2025. And anybody just finding us for the first time this year, the 9 years we're talking about, and it may reference throughout this possibly, is a year of closing, shedding. Like you said, it was the year of the snake. It is shedding old beliefs or habits or just what isn't in alignment with us anymore on the 4 bodies.
Yeah.
As what we speak to a lot here. So that's the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. On all of those planes, we feel this falling away.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed today's episode, getting into the nitty gritty of our 9-year 2025.
Reflect with us.
Where do you want to start today's episode?
let's just start at the top of 2025. I started giving this a lot of contemplation in preparation for this. What did the beginning of 2025 look like
Mm-hmm.
for me? And at that point, I was really heavy into my medical intuition
Mm-hmm.
readings for people. And I was just kind of coming out of the end of my classes at that time. So I was really doing a lot of readings. And that showed me and really pushed me out of my comfort zone into um, one, energetically reading people, which can be a little scary
Yeah,
in doing that.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But at the end of that class, which I took 2 levels in this, so it was like a total of a year long class, is that we were taught to follow to a T what this teacher was teaching us, which is totally fine for her program.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she does it. And I learned so much from her, but I also learned for myself that energetically and in readings, I could not be shoved into this teacher's reading box and
Mm.
read only as she was teaching it to be done in
Yeah.
her program. And that was beautiful because I had to learn that. I had to learn what did her teachings mean for me, how I was going to carry that through.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the beginning of my year, was just really energetically rechecking myself.
Yeah.
And was I going to just kind of conform into her program, and almost I saw it as being a little mini her.
Mm.
And that just wasn't authentic to me.
Yeah.
And so, completing out the readings that I had scheduled, and completing doing the program as her, but then knowing when it was time to be done with that and know that I was going to have to transform that into something that was me.
Mm-hmm. I think that's great. And I think that approach to learning from someone is really amazing because yes, when you're learning something from someone, they're going to teach you the ways that they do it or the practice that they've found most helpful. However, whatever you're learning, the goal is to take what you've learned and turn it into your own
Hmm.
and to find where that fits authentically for you. And for something so incredible like energy reading, it needs to feel authentic for you.
It does. Well, and what the thing was, what I had to learn there was she didn't allow any outside. You couldn't go outside the scope of what she was teaching.
Mm,
And if your reading was not exactly as she had outlined it that it had to be,
mm,
if you did not get all of these pieces in this reading, then that reading that you did was not going to go towards your credit.
interesting.
And so it just, you had no room.
Mm,
There was no room allowed for you to be your own medical intuitive reader.
mm, interesting.
Yeah. And so that's what really pushed me to just, I learned her way
Hmm.
and I understand where she's coming from. It just didn't complete for me.
Yeah.
I had to know when it was time to kind of stop the readings,
Hmm.
being forced to read it in her way.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah. I had to call it for myself and
Mm,
know that it was too hard. I mean, and not hard, not that's probably the wrong way to state it, is that it just, the readings were, there was so much pressure to be that mini,
to replicate.
exactly what she's doing.
Hmm. But when it comes to energetic work, I don't see that as really being possible.
It's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Because my higher self is who I work with
Hmm.
the client's higher self. that's where all this information and messages and symbols and all of this stuff come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm totally individual. My higher self is working with me in my individual capacity. So to fit that energetic reading into such a specific to her
Mm-hmm.
was very challenging.
Yeah.
And a lot of the readings just did not flow smoothly to where I would want that for that client.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I always did good readings. The clients, for the most part, I had a couple.
Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
Absolutely, that's all part of it. But 98%, 97% of the clients that I read just walked away very happy with their reading. So, I mean, I was doing a good job, but for me, the way I felt in that reading, I could have done better,
Mm-hmm.
just with a little bit more freedom.
Interesting. So did you finish the course with this educator or no?
I completed the
Mm-hmm.
timeline course. I did not complete the number of readings required for certification.
Mm.
But I totally completed all of the study work, and I did 95%
Mm-hmm.
of my caseload in my readings.
I remember you talking about this a little bit and doing these readings and they're getting sent back to you or they're not completed or she's not accepting and
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
remember you battling with this.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
did. It really was a battle
Mm-hmm.
because it was like I've gone so far. I've learned so much. I know I'm doing good readings. I'm getting great feedback from
Mm-hmm.
the clients, but yet my instructor was so unhappy with the material or the depth of the material that I
Because it
was
wasn't done in her
exact
organization.
format
Mm.
of her reading. And no fault to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned. It was
Yeah.
my lesson that I had to step into my energy
Yeah.
and my reading and find that trust in myself with what I've learned and now how am I going to apply that?
Mm-hmm.
And I think really that's truly what all of that was teaching me.
Yeah.
It wasn't a failure or an incompletion because I can sit down and do a medical intuitive reading
Yeah.
and do a very good job
Mm-hmm.
for anybody at any time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
I
just
just
that learning.
I just had to learn
Yeah.
what all of that meant for me.
Well, at the beginning of my 2025, it really was like this exhale for me and my household because the end of our 2024 was very busy.
Mm,
We had our wedding in November.
right.
We had multiple things. I mean, planning a wedding, anyone listening that has done that recently is incredible. Having all of the planning and then the actual wedding and the holidays right after, the beginning of 2025 was just a big exhale for us. And it was kind of this energy of, let's just get back to normal. And so we did. The beginning of 2025 was, let's just get back to work, fall back into routine. But ultimately, what I learned from just get back into routine is we just went on autopilot and we just did the same things every day,
Mm-hmm.
whether we truly enjoyed the day or not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really was just this kind of repetition, this autopilot, this
Monotony.
yes, yes. And it ultimately really forced us to say, okay, we don't like this. This isn't how we want to do things. But it took a long time this year to realize.
Okay, and I was going to ask,
Mm-hmm.
so how long did that take? Did that take to the summertime? Did that take towards the end of the year?
Yeah,
Where was that?
it took towards the end of this year,
Okay.
2025. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started like immediately in January, but we
Mm,
carried this through the year
mm,
to come to realize that this isn't serving us. We don't enjoy this.
mhm.
And so, yeah, we've got the opportunity to rewrite some habits, rewrite some patterns, and now applying this and implementing this into 2026 feels really wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. But also at the beginning of 2025, my baby turned a year old. And gosh, just the amount that she's teaching me every single day is incredible. I mean, I could sit here and talk about that little girl forever.
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
But it's this incredible relationship. Like, she's teaching me, I'm teaching her, but we're just learning all day, every day. And gosh, it's so beautiful. But to go back and reflect that she is pretty soon going to turn 2.
Right. I was going to say now almost 2.
Yeah. And seeing her changes and seeing her growth. I mean, she's an extension of me. So when I think about my year, of course, I think a lot about her.
Sure.
But thinking back on 2025, reflecting back on kind of like getting a broad scope of what the year was, there was a lot of, I want to say, like monotony, like you said. Of course, like events and things happen, but yeah, there's just this undercurrent of monotony. That's what I would categorize my 2025 as.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until really towards the end that a lot of these aspects of shedding really kind of came up.
Yeah, it took that mundane to kind of maybe wake you up to there's way more than this. That's boring.
Yeah.
What needs to change, and letting that fall away.
Also at the beginning of 2025, I was very heavy in my spiritual practice. My spiritual practice has changed a lot this year. And I think we've talked about this in previous episodes too.
Off and on, yeah.
A little bit. But yes, I was very heavy in my spiritual practice, especially at the beginning of the year, because I told myself and I journaled to myself that this is the year that I'm really going to test and push and lean into my intuition. And I certainly have, but it's so funny to think back on the mindset and the state that I was in when I was like making this deal with myself.
Right.
Because I certainly did lean into my intuition so much more than I have in this past year.
Well, and you almost had to because we started this podcast.
That's true.
And we talked about it a lot. And so when me and you would just get together, that was a lot of what we talked about was, energy and intuition and all of that. So it really was on the forefront for both of us this whole year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or 2025. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels, again, it's funny to reflect back and think how I was or how I saw things then, because even just growth from the year, gosh, that alone has changed so much and I've grown so much. Yeah, it's great. 2025 was a hard year to live through.
It was very hard.
Yeah. Not just for us, for so many people have expressed the same.
Yes. Yeah, because that was the energy of that year. So absolutely, collectively, everybody felt it, whether you were aware of it or not. That energy was there and it followed you through the whole year.
Yeah.
And it really has asked people to step up and see what no longer served them, what they were no longer in alignment with, and what needed to be stripped away, decluttered, moved out. And again, that's in all the 4 bodies. That is mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah.
It touches on every aspect of us in all areas of our life. Work, life, or home life, career, like I said, that work, community, spiritually, education, all of it, all aspects of our life. it touches in there and asks us to reevaluate and start making space to move into some new things.
And that's certainly, when you're living through it, it's hard to see, it's hard to notice, it's hard to recognize. And then when a year ends and you're able to go back and really reflect, and you see so much. It's really interesting to get like a bird's eye view of the last year of your life.
That's why it's so important to reflect. I mean, to reflect at the end of a day or the beginning of a day.
Yeah.
Certain times through the month, through the year, and then definitely at the end of the year to reflect and look back and see how that year spoke to you, what it taught you, what no longer is going to move forward with you. You have to make space in order to bring in new things. We can't just keep stacking on top, right?
Yeah.
You have to do the clearing.
Yeah.
And there are years that are more energetically strong in making sure that we do that for our progress.
Yeah.
As an individual and as humanity.
I also started a new side business venture. And that has certainly taught me a lot throughout the year.
Yeah.
Personally, not so much in the business itself, but just really pointing inward and having to really dig up. I mean, we were talking about this a lot before the episode started today, but going inward and these little questions popping up. And for the last 4 years, I'll say at least 3 years, those questions pop up and I don't want to answer them, so I push them away. And talking to you today, I mean, I really think that that's what 2025 was teaching me. To stop ignoring those little questions. And to use my favorite word, to go in and investigate.
Right. We have to do that. We have to ask ourselves questions. We have to investigate in order to move forward from a space of intuition or wisdom.
Exactly.
Because if we're just blindly, without any clarity, making decisions, I mean, that's how we get out of balance and things don't turn out right. We're just trusting that it's just going to work out. That's scary. And that just brings up a whole lot more insecurities.
Yeah.
So take the time and investigate.
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of the year of 2025, I also kind of had it my mission to travel.
Yes, you did.
I wanted to travel. I love to travel. And my husband doesn't like to travel. So it just is backburnered a lot. And so last year I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really gone to any health coaching conferences. And so I thought, it's time to really step up into that and really broaden myself in my health coaching and what is being taught out there. And so I did that. I started at the beginning of 2025 researching, conferences and stuff, and really didn't find much until like the middle of the year. I got back into it and was like, all right, I got to do this. I got to find some. And found several that I was very interested in. And so signed up for them and didn't really realize how squished together I had made all these travel plans. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty hectic.
It was crazy.
But it taught me to, okay, Stacy, pay attention next time that you're doing all of this. It was fun for one time. I don't think I will ever do that again. I will closely pay attention to my scheduling of travel plans.
I mean, for reference, for everyone listening, there was a trip that you got home from for a day or two, and then you were on another plane. And people do this. People do this for
They
work.
do.
But
I did it for a month. I did that.
and it was, oh,
I had 3 back-to-back trips.
yes.
Yes, it was crazy. I would be home for 2 days. Enough time to do a little bit of laundry, repack because the climates were very different where I was going, so
Yeah.
it was not the same clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was fun
Yeah.
for that 1 month, but I was like, yeah, oh, wow. I learned my lesson. Not doing that again.
Trips are fun, but let's spread them out throughout the year and enjoy
Yes.
them even more.
Yes. Yeah. And one trip, the first one that I did in August or September, and it was before the craziness of the next 3 trips. So I did 4, I believe, total in 2 months. And that one trip, it was local. It was a little town, 2 hours from where I lived, but I chose to, well, actually I was staying with my sister. I didn't have to pay for a hotel room.
Because
Well, and thankfully I didn't, because this conference, this health and wellness conference, was bizarre from the get-go. And it was a 3-day conference, I believe, 2 or 3-day conference. I was there that one day and I was like, I'm not going back. Things just kept happening. And the 2 that are the most bizarre that I'm just going to touch on really quick, just for kicks, is that I was going into this one room for the lecture, and there was this lady standing outside the door, and she targeted me and asked me, do I belong here? Am I supposed to go in here? And I just kind of looked at her baffled. She wasn't asking anybody else. She wasn't stopping anybody else. She stopped me, am I allowed to go in here? And I was like, yes, I paid for this conference. And I just walk on in. And I thought, wow, that's really kind of strange. Why? And that wasn't my first conference of the morning. I had already been in several, and there was nobody outside any of the other doors asking if people were allowed to go in. It was just strange. So that was one. That was after already just this kind of bizarre morning to begin with. But then I go into another lecture a little bit later on in the day, and this lecturer had told people to find a partner, and then she prompted us on what to do with the partner. And so we had already done that once, fine, went okay. And then she spoke a little bit, and then she asked, okay, everybody, find another partner, different partner than before, and here's your prompt, and do this. So I turned to this lady across the aisle from me and said, would you like to be my partner? Completely ignored me. Acted like I wasn't even there. She didn't hear me, nothing. And I sat there for just a second looking at her thinking, okay, she's just buttoning up a thought or something. I don't know. But I was totally invisible. And she didn't partner up with anybody else, but it was almost as if like both of us were invisible. It was so strange.
That is so strange.
I mean, it's not like she even acknowledged me and was like, no, I'm not going to do a partner. I'm not going to do this activity. Nothing like that. Didn't acknowledge me at all. Completely ignored me. So after that, I was like, you know what? I think I closed out the day, went back to my sister's, and I was like,
I'm not going back.
I'm not going back. There was so much that was off about this conference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the universe tapping you on the shoulder multiple times a day, like, are you sure you want to be here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not the right spot for you. Yeah.
That is so interesting.
It was.
Yeah, and it's like these weird like nudges, and you're like, what? Where is this coming from? What is this?
What is this? Yeah. Yeah.
Gosh.
It was so interesting. And I just had to kind of laugh at it
Mm-hmm.
and just say, okay, I'm not going to force this. This is with the repeated things that happen through the day. It's like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to this. I'm
Yeah,
going to go home.
that was enough information for you to know that, yeah, I don't need to be here.
Yeah,
My energy's not jiving with this.
yeah. But then after that, the month that followed, all the other conferences and all the other travel trips were just fantastic.
Well, yes, and you even went on a trip and you ended up going with Dad.
Hmm.
It was a trip for both of you, but you had a conference scheduled.
Hmm.
But you got there and you were like, you know what? I need to spend this time. We
Hmm.
need to spend this time together.
Yes,
And so you said no to the expo.
I did. I did. Yeah, I skipped that conference
Yeah.
because we were in our favorite location that we have
Yeah.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
We've visited this place, Estes Park, Colorado.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever been there, it's just beautiful.
Magical.
It is. And so I was like, I can't be in this conference for
Yeah.
3 days.
While he's out fishing and hiking and doing
Y-
all of these things.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And two, um, 2025 has really highlighted the troubles in
Mm-hmm.
our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just really wanted to take this time
Yeah.
with my husband on this trip for us to just to be able to talk and just bring more things out.
Mm-hmm.
Not that any of that turned out to be great.
Mm-hmm.
We're still in this, in the struggles.
Yeah.
Um,
Figuring things out. Yeah, I think hearing your stories from this year so far, and, even the more in-depth stories that you and I have shared throughout this past year, I feel like this year for you was a lot about making your own way and setting boundaries and saying no.
really stepping into me. I have
Yes.
really, really focused on learning me.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's what 2025 has really pushed me to do. First, energetically,
Mm-hmm.
really stepping into owning myself in my energy practices.
Yeah.
Am I going to continue to copy other people?
Mm-hmm.
Is that my path? Or do I step out into me,
Yeah.
into my energy and my path in that?
Mm-hmm.
And, it felt hard
Yeah.
and confusing, but it definitely felt right.
Yeah.
And yeah, the marriage, the struggles in the marriage, that we're still working on through. I don't know. We there is no conclusion to that just yet. But yeah, has really made me step into trusting myself and more confidence in myself and knowing that whatever happens, that I'm okay,
Yeah.
that I've got myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've grown up in the fight or flight response my whole entire life,
Mm-hmm.
really until kind of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say 2025 has really shown me that that is coming to an end.
Yeah.
I stepping into 2026, I feel much stronger
Mm-hmm.
in me, but also just almost in my confidence and security.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I have a whole lot of clarity in front of me, but yet, in a sense, in some clarity.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like what you and I were talking about earlier today. You can't have all of this clarity or knowing your next step or where you're going to
Mhm.
go or where you're going to be, but you just have to take every day, every situation as it comes.
Mhm.
And it's just so true.
Yeah, because if you're looking too far ahead, it's just that gets overwhelming. There is
Mm-hmm.
no clarity because it is just too far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And and so if you just stay present, stay in the moment and you work through that, that's where you start building momentum and getting somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's really a conversation that I had to have with myself with the difficulties in my marriage, is that, you know what, there is no urgency.
Mm-hmm.
We're amicable, we're speaking, we're just kind of navigating. We're not on the same page, and really the struggles is that we have come so far out of alignment,
Mm-hmm.
is that we're just trying to kind of figure that out.
Yeah.
And so there's no urgency.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
Mm-hmm. As okay as
in
it can be.
in that, yeah, it's not, an emergency that a
Mm-hmm.
change happens. And I just keep telling myself that, it's not that there has to be a decision now.
Right.
You have so many other things that are in the works as well, that maybe that's where the energy needs to go for right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this marriage is just kind of coming along, and eventually it will be time to put a lot of focus and energy in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at and what I'm telling myself right now.
Yeah. I mean, and that's so interesting too, kind of seeing that parallel for my year too. The
Mm.
struggles and the difficulties and the hard moments and hard conversations. And I mean, as difficult as these parts of our lives do get, man, there's so much information in them. And as emotional as we can be, that kind of blocks out the, well, let me learn from this situation.
Right.
What can I extract from this?
How do I appreciate this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there are still those moments in there. And how important is it to be able to recognize and appreciate the difficulties?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't do that, we just seem to kind of compound the difficulties because
Yeah.
we haven't integrated and stripped away what needed to be left behind and carry forward what does serve us, what
Mm-hmm.
is aligned, what the lesson was from that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important to reflect back on what is happening through our lives, whether it is daily, monthly, yearly, quarterly, however it needs to look, however it's happening.
Yeah.
We have to reflect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, about middle of the year for me, started in June. My husband went on 75 hard.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of reflecting over that period of our life because, as I said, the beginning of 2025, majority of 2025 was just this monotony. It was the same over and over again. And I think that really became painfully apparent during his journey of 75 hard. If you don't know what 75 hard is, I encourage you look it up, research it, see if it's something that would float your boat, but it certainly was a challenge in the best ways possible. But yes, this challenge was this list of things, some intense things that you had to do every single day, 7 days a week. So that monotony, that repetition, that every day looks the same because we're doing this, 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 and this, really was like, holy cow, intense in those 3 months. And it was a challenge, right? It was a mental transformation challenge that my husband chose to do. And it was incredible watching him every single day. As much as he didn't want to do it, but he told himself he was going to. The first weekend, the first 5 days in, he messed up on one of the challenges and he had to start over.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, don't even worry about it. Just keep the days going. You don't have to start over. And he looked at me and he said, no, I'm going to do this right. I have to do this right. And it was almost like, okay, are you telling me this for me or is this for you kind of moment?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no, I'm going to hold this integrity. I'm going to restart and I'm going to do it right. And he did.
Mhm.
And it's one of the qualities that I admire most about him is his ability to follow through on what he says he's going to do. No matter how hard it gets,
Mhm.
he's going to do it.
Yeah.
He said he was going to do it, he's going to do it. And it was really fun and incredible to watch him over those 75 days and to be there and cheer him on and help him. And it was incredible.
Yeah, and it was very difficult though.
Mm-hmm.
And I was here 2 days a week watching the baby while he was going through this and the
Mm-hmm.
family was going through this, and I think it deserves to point out is that we talked about it too, was that the baby
Mm-hmm.
really changed toward him,
Mm-hmm.
not in a great way,
Yeah.
because what I just kind of took from it energetically is that he was pushing so hard to fit into this 75 hard
Mm-hmm.
that he was really neglecting a lot of other areas for him.
For himself. Yeah.
Yes. And the baby was really reflecting this to him. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he ever saw that. I don't know if you ever had the heart to tell him
A little bit.
what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was very, very interesting to witness.
It was very interesting and it was very apparent.
Hmm.
And yeah, you and I had kind of noticed this kind of around the same time
Hmm.
that yeah, she really was acting as a reflector towards him.
Hmm.
And it was beautiful to see. It was sad to
It was
see.
sad.
It was
Yeah.
so interesting.
Because if you want to, I'll let you speak to it, what she was reflecting.
Yeah, it was almost like it was anytime he asked for any form of affection, a hug, a kiss, to snuggle, anything like that, she would say no.
Hmm.
She would not be interested.
She'd run the opposite direction.
Quite literally would run away.
Yeah.
And so this, was really kind of signifying that he's not loving himself in this
Hmm.
moment because he's so focused on pushing forward and doing this and checking this off the list and go, go, go.
He was pushing everything else away.
Yeah. And yeah, for someone that's not tapped in energetically,
Hmm.
you would just see this as she's just a toddler. She doesn't,
The baby's just in a phase.
yeah,
She's just being
she's
weird.
acting out or whatever. But no, energetically, this, especially how instantly when the challenge was over,
Yes.
she changed.
Yes. Instantly. I think
Instantly.
it was like maybe day 2 or so.
Yes, it was.
It was like it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She'd run into his arms and
Mm-hmm.
give him kisses and
Yeah. Yeah, it was a complete change.
yep.
Once the challenge was over. But coming out of that challenge, coming out of that intense monotony, that's really when things felt like, okay, let's have fun with our time. Let's do more. Let's experience, kind of coming out of this drill over and over and over again, day after
Well,
day.
right, because his diet got to change. He got to be
Mm-hmm.
much more relaxed in his diet.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to exercise twice a day. He also had reading material that he had to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle, excuse me, in the middle of his work day,
Mm-hmm.
he had to also he had to put all of this other stuff in there too. So
Yeah.
sometimes he was doing his exercises at 10:30 at night
Yes, it
because
was.
he had to finish his work.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, it was just, yeah, it was.
It was a
So
lot.
yeah, so he was neglecting his sleep patterns.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot that was being neglected that the
Mm-hmm.
baby was reflecting in this 75 hard. So yeah, when he came out of that, you guys had oh,
Yeah.
this space, this freedom to then really change your routine.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of was again like this period of our year where we get to take a breath and we get to relax and we get to go back to some sense of normal. But that also is really when things picked up where the shedding aspect of the year really hit us in the things that we didn't like anymore, we didn't want to do, the habits that we wanted to shake. That's where, kind of at the end of the summer, moving into the fall, was really when a lot of things were popping up saying, we need to change this. We need to do this. We need to move away from this. That's really where the shedding started for us. Because again, like as the year progressed, is when it felt like things were just speeding up so quickly.
Right. Yeah, and it was. I mean, it really, I think energetically, yes, it really
Yeah.
was speeding up.
Yeah.
It was okay, you've been neglecting. I've been hinting all year, is what the energy's saying it, it's been hinting at and trying to bring up and surface and have you deal with
Yeah.
and we tend as humans do is just to push away. But it energetically just becomes so strong that you have to, because
Yeah.
we are moving into a new energy shift. And so these things have to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And it felt so strong. It still does. Those things are still lingering.
Yeah.
Kind of like we were talking about too, that the year doesn't stop and start.
Right.
It blends.
It has to. It has to weave in and blend in, and we have to continue to let some of these things continue to fall away and make space for when we really enter into 2026, that all of that really starts to take root.
Yeah.
And just to touch on a couple other things that were really energetically strong for me is that I had to say goodbye to my horse of 18 years.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because where I had started personally with her, just and what she had taught me was just so strong compared to who I am now. And with her passing, she really made me reflect back through my life on and then into how much I have grown now. It was so hard because in saying goodbye to her was also saying goodbye to that young person that I was.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah.
And so that was really powerful for me. And in moving forward, the other major thing that I really wanted to talk about today in reflecting back on 2025 was a scam that I got wrapped up in. Luckily, nothing was taken from me other than maybe my pride, but it taught me so much.
Yeah.
And I call it the scam that broke open everything, because it absolutely did. It broke me open completely and made me really go deep internally and investigate and look at who I was.
Yeah.
And I was asking within this scam, am I a scam? And that's the root of kind of where I was coming at this from, this hurt of this, because it made me look at my marriage from a scam view, my health coaching business from a scam view, from the woman that I am, from the life that I've led, what I'm doing energetically. I mean, everything.
Yeah, that's intense.
It was. It was. It completely broke me open and asked me to look at every aspect of me. And if there was a hint of a scam anywhere in there, then what was I going to do about it?
Yeah.
And was I going to allow that to continue? And really the only area that really showed up, as was in my marriage. And it just was that I wasn't being honest in everything with the marriage.
Yeah.
Just in, just that I don't talk to my husband. I keep things very hidden. not that there was any true scam or anything there.
Yeah.
That's not who I am. But I wasn't being totally honest in um, in speaking to him on how
Mhm.
I was feeling and how I was looking at things and going about things and all of that. So I did. I brought that up. I let that come up.
Yeah.
I let that out. And
Mhm.
it was just going to fall where it was going to fall.
Yeah.
And we think it's going to shatter everything.
Mhm.
It didn't.
Yeah.
He had an idea on some of this stuff,
Right. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
to think that this other person that you've been with for
30
30
30
years
years.
has no idea that you're
Exactly.
struggling with anything or yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it just showed me, just to be more honest with myself and with
Yeah.
those around me. And
And that honesty is okay and it's good and it's meaningful and you don't have to do everything by yourself.
it's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day too, when you think about relationship, marriage, whatever it is, this is a partner. And so where obviously they fit into a space in your life, who are they? What are they? How are they a partner to you?
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, really, we shared a lot about our marriages this year and relationships, between the two of us.
Mhm.
Yeah, we both took really deep looks at ourselves
We did. Yeah.
and within our marriages.
Mhm.
And it's not easy. It's painful. It
It is.
really is. And for me, only being married 2 years and having this intense of a relationship aspect to marriage already,
Yeah.
thankfully, we went through it. And I'm also excited and happy and ready to see what this year brings.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the purpose of 2025
Mm-hmm.
was to really surface this deep
Yeah.
stuff that we had been hanging on to for a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is nine is the closing of this decade,
Yeah.
and so all of that has to surface,
Mm-hmm.
sort through, get rid of, keep what needs to stay,
Yeah.
and then we enter into the creative, the momentum year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's 2025
Mm-hmm.
did
That's
that
what it was all about.
to help us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also funny to think back and remember too, when I first saw my husband, I had a vision of him.
Mhm.
And in my vision, we were living in 2026.
Mhm.
And I say that because in my vision, he was 26. And so there's already 4 years ago, there was something energetically
Mhm.
that my soul was excited about in 2026.
Yeah.
And so now it's here. It involves him somehow,
Mhm.
right? Because he triggered this vision
Sure.
from the moment I saw him. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, you have arrived here and now you get to explore that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a whole year
Mm-hmm.
to explore what that vision may be.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really has felt like around every corner I'm like, "Oh, is this the special thing? Is this the special thing?" So, I'm on like this energetic hunt for whatever that vision was trying to tell me.
Well, and just keep open that it
Mhm.
may not be a single moment,
Yeah.
right, or
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It may be the culmination of 2026 and some beauty that is going to come from
Yeah.
the 365 days of that 2026,
Yeah.
So don't necessarily be waiting for that moment
Right.
because it might just be this beautiful story that unfolds.
And I do feel that that's what it will be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
precious moments
Yeah. I think so too.
that teach you something grand.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm very exciting. Very excited that I've arrived to this year and I
to
get
that
to
vision.
see
Hmm.
what that was all about.
Yeah. And then, all through 2025, I continued spiritual, classes and healing classes, and I did certification for past life regression. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really dived fully into, but I do see that, taking more shape in the next probably couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also continued to just kind of circle back, circle back. I'll lose it for a little bit, but I'll circle back with traditional Chinese medicine
Mm-hmm.
that continues to kind of come back in
Yeah.
and, touch pieces of my work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited about that. And 2025, really hasn't gone truly how I, at the beginning of the year thought it was going to go.
It's
We
okay.
started the podcast, we launched it in July,
Mm-hmm.
and it's taken some shape, but my business hasn't really grown
Mm-hmm.
like I really thought it was going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
And so this scam, again, going back and having to really evaluate that piece of it, I just need to just completely step into my authenticity of that piece of me.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of trying to almost force or cultivate this piece, I'm still just learning and creating, and it is where it needs to be.
There is no timeline.
There is no timeline and there is no control of it, and I'm just releasing all of that and
Yeah.
knowing that I am okay in my life financially, even though this isn't exactly where I want to be, but it's all okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to keep moving with it and morphing with it and seeing, where it goes.
Yeah.
But it's it's all, going to take more shape, and that's what I wanted to say is that with it not really taking off like I was hoping or thinking that it would, it's really forced me into looking at other creative avenues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what 2026 is going to continue to be,
Yeah.
is moving this into other creative avenues. And that's where it's supposed to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you had a really, I would say, intense spark of creativity towards the end of
Hmm.
2025 that
Yes.
really helped you solidify your understanding of where you are, where you will be soon, and kind of the energetics behind this creativity,
And it's still changing.
and it's still
I
changing.
thought I had arrived at a piece of it,
Yeah.
and we had talked a bit about it, but yeah, no, I'm saying that it's still changing.
But and I feel like too because you're also digging up your old relationship with creativity and you're
Right.
still working with that and through that and
Stepping into it.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it started with the old version of what you thought creativity and productivity and all that was.
Very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So fun.
It is fun, and it's very open this year, and I
Mhm.
love that. It's not saying that it has to look this way, and it's not looking that way, so what do I have to do to get it to look that way? It's saying, no, you know what? Okay, it didn't look that way, and now I get to just keep it open to possibilities and creativity, and let's just move with it.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Have
It's
fun with it. Learn.
it's here for a
That's
reason,
yeah.
and it's morphing into something different than what I thought for a reason.
Mhm.
So let's go. And
Yeah.
and we're in a 1 year. This is the creativity year. This is the momentum year. So I'm excited about that. And I'm
Yeah.
just going to continue to be in this creative space and move with it. And we're just going to roll with it.
See where it takes you.
Yep.
Me too.
And I was going to say, and same for you with what
Yeah.
our discussion was before we started to record,
Mhm.
is that you've got a lot of creativity in front of you. And one thing that I had said to you was, Abigail,
Mhm.
Do you have to have this creativity come to fruition this year?
And my gut told you no, but my head says, no, do this as fast as you can.
Right. We got to get this going.
We got to go. Come on. We're late.
Right. But it is no.
Yeah.
It does not have to. And I said that's a great answer because this is your creativity year.
Yeah.
So let it go. Let it really be that for you. And you'll know when it's ready to put into action and really get this out there.
Yeah.
Don't rush it because then something's not going to be quite right. So
I agree.
Love this. Enjoy this. Let it unfold for you. And let it, as we talked about before recording, stir up all these negative insecurities and questions and all of that.
Yeah.
And you work through it now. That's
Dig
what this
into
is.
it now.
This is what that's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And it just hit me the other day, and it's made me realize this is the whole point. And better late than never.
Absolutely. All right. So big years.
Yeah.
Or big year for us, 2025. What are you going to take forward with you?
I feel like not that much. I really feel like, again, with how rapid the end of 2025 was for us, there was a lot of intense, nope, done with this. Okay, not doing that. Okay, let's move on from this. We can bring this with us, but let's change it a little bit. There's so much.
Nice.
So much that my husband and I are excited for this year. And he actually surprised me. Our last date night of 2025, he said, we went to the gym for date night. We went and got chicken wings for dinner.
Oh, fancy.
And then he said, we're going to go to your favorite coffee shop and we're going to write like a manifestation list.
Oh, he's speaking to your heart.
I said, oh my gosh, that sounds like the perfect night. Gym, chicken wings, and manifestation.
You covered so much. Just that little bit of time.
Yeah. And it was really sweet. It was really fun. And it was us sitting down and cultivating some type of goals and manifestations together and separately, something that we want to do for this year. And it was so much fun. So yeah, we really got clear on some things that we don't want to bring into 2026. We got clear on some habits that we want to maintain in 2026 that we picked up right towards the end of 2025. And it's just a lot more fun, spontaneity, just togetherness, all three of us. And that's really what we lacked this year, was that togetherness feeling. We were always together, right? But it's the being intentional about our time together.
Yeah.
That we really are focusing on. And within just a few short weeks of leaning into this, already feeling like, yeah, things are better. Things are feeling like there's good momentum there.
Nice.
Good habits, good feelings. But yeah, I want to say there's not too much that I'm interested in bringing into 2026.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would almost agree with that feeling too. I just keep telling myself I'm staying authentic to me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to continue to move inward, check in with me, stay authentic to my morals and values, and that's where I'm moving from. And that's the basis of decisions that I'm going to make, and just staying present in my day-to-day and getting my clarity for decisions and moving forward from that space. And I think that's all I'm going to take into 2026, and just be creative and
have fun.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like this year is going to be so fun.
It is kind of a year of play, and that's creativity, right? That's imagination. intuition, and play,
Yeah.
having fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, I guess let's chat on the topic of resolutions because
Yes.
that is a big topic at the start of a new year.
That's right. It
Mhm.
is. And the new year is there to spark us into making changes, right?
Mhm.
And that is not just the new year, that's in anything that is kind of new. It,
Mhm.
it gives us that spark
Yeah.
of something, some change.
And the new year is no different.
The new year is no different. And what I really want to stress here is making New Year's resolutions is great.
Mhm.
And I encourage people to do that, especially if you reflect back on your year from start to end. But keep in mind that we are still in the dead of winter.
Mhm.
And so trying to start the resolutions now at the beginning of the year does not set you up properly to carry them through.
Mhm.
And so this really needs to continue in winter, invites you to just reflect on what these resolutions are. What do the new changes need to be? Don't move into action just yet. Understand yourself and where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I was asking your dad just yesterday because he was saying, okay, it's time to really start focusing on getting healthy again. I said, that sounds really great. What does that mean to you? And he had to stop and think. Oh, well, it means, you know, eating right. It means getting into an exercise routine. Or I think he just said routine. And so I'd ask more. Okay, what's a routine?
Mhm.
What does that mean? What does that look like? Okay, you want to get healthy. What does that mean? What
Mhm.
does that look like? And I kept asking him questions and he had to keep answering. And I said, okay, I said, I'm not asking all of this just as conversation
To be annoying.
and yeah, there's a point to this. When you are asking these questions,
Mhm.
why? What does this mean? What does this look like? You are getting clarity. You are painting this picture. And when you do that, now you have some direction.
Mhm.
And now you know, well, what that really does mean to me. What
Yeah.
does that really look like to me? And that helps you start setting those action plans.
Mhm.
And that's what the rest of this winter should be for everybody
Yeah.
is feeling that okay, changes need to start happening. Resolutions are coming up, but don't implement them just yet.
Mhm.
Investigate them, get clarity on them, and then when spring comes about, you spring into action.
Yeah.
This is when you start really moving that momentum into doing stuff.
Mhm.
And that's where you get to be successful because that's the energy that carries you into doing this. Winter is still hibernation. Winter is still looking inward and asking questions and researching for yourself
Mhm.
and getting clarity.
Yeah.
That's where we're still at right now, energetically.
Yeah. I love how you framed that because it is so true, right? We're in the middle of winter right now. It's not energetically necessarily the right time to get up and go.
Mm-mm.
And that's where culture and society tells us we're supposed to be, right?
Yes.
New year, new me.
Yep.
But again, like we said, the years don't end and start, they blend together.
They do.
So, new year, new me for my household actually started in November.
Mm.
We started implementing some aspects that we want in 2026
Right.
for the last few months of
Yes.
2025. And so we already gained that momentum and
Mhm.
we're just getting to carry it into winter.
Right. And shape it and
Mm-hmm.
understand it. I texted a client of mine at the beginning of the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got some struggles that she's going through that we've been working through. But I texted her, and the message was that it's a new year, but not a new you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a more understood you.
I like that.
And that's exactly where we need to come from. We are
Mm-hmm.
not new.
Yeah.
We took this winter season to understand us
Mm-hmm.
in our goals and aspirations and
Yeah.
what we want 2026 to look like for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And, getting to sit down with my husband and we're talking about our goals for this next year and what we want to achieve and do and experience. Yes, we wrote down a list, and it's already interesting how, yes, I'm getting this understanding of, okay, but just because it's now the calendar says it's 2026 doesn't mean boom, you have to go do all these things.
Right.
We really wrote this list, and I'm, coming to the understanding and realization that we wrote these things. These are things that we aspire to do and achieve this year. However, we can allow it some time to really settle in, get more clarity on what this means, if this goal actually fits with our year. And I'll tell you already, two things have fallen off my list that realistically don't fit right now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's write your manifestation list, write your New Year's resolution list, but just keep it in your back pocket for the next 1 to 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Yes, until spring.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then maybe sit down again
Yes.
and say, okay, how has this changed a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
How has it changed totally? Did
Yeah.
it totally fall off the list?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
not everything is meant to be carried through, as we've discussed before, especially being a manifesting generator.
Mm-hmm.
Things are not meant to 100%
Yeah.
be followed through.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, for anyone listening, if you've made your list of resolutions, manifestations, whatever it may be, allow it to sit in your energy.
Yes.
And do the things that feel aligned now. Do the things that you're excited to do now.
The reading, the
Mm-hmm.
preparation, the journaling, talking to people,
Yeah.
whatever it is, stay in your winter.
Mm-hmm.
Stay internally
Mm-hmm.
with what you hope to change or do differently or create in 2026.
Yeah. Because it's also interesting too, I really wonder how many people out there throw together a list really quickly at the end of the year because everyone else does lists,
Or
right?
you just think that that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. January 1st is in a few days. Let me write down everything that I want to do.
And now I've got to quickly put it all into gear. I got to get going.
Right.
I got to make changes.
But yeah, it's almost like you may not have necessarily offered yourself enough time to sit with what you actually want, why you actually want this,
Yes.
and what it's going to take to achieve these things too. That's where that clarity, those actions really come into play. So to allow yourself to go within yourself and think and reflect on the year now that it's completely over.
That's right.
You can fully reflect on all 365 days of last year and come up with your list and just spend some time crafting it. There's no pressure. You're in winter.
Right. So till about March,
Mm-hmm.
middle of March, when spring starts to come about. So
Yeah.
like you said, take this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That certainly is what I will be doing.
Get to know yourself better in these goals and resolutions.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun too because I will turn another year older and wiser at the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like, okay, there's going to be a new me that sprouts up there.
Right.
And then I'll get to move that into the springtime.
Mm-hmm. We do. We have these milestones all throughout the year that helps create this spark of change.
Mm-hmm.
The New Year's one, birthdays are absolutely anniversaries, holidays.
Yeah.
All of those things bring us through the year, asking us to reevaluate, to make the changes, and to move in and out
Yeah.
of certain things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And all possibility is in front of us. We are the only ones that limit ourselves.
Yeah.
So as it is a new year and as you are reflecting on 2025, just know that this one year, this year of creativity and possibility is abundant for you. It's all right there.
Yeah.
You just have to move into that choice that it is there for you.
Yeah.
We are the only ones that limit ourselves.
That is true.
So the balance.
I mean, I think you touched on it. Possibilities are endless.
There you go. Possibilities are endless. Enjoy 2026.
Yeah.
Let 2025 continue to move you here at the beginning through the winter.
Yeah.
Continue to get to know yourself, what's going to fall away, what's going to move forward. Enjoy the process.
Yeah. Have fun with it. But pressure on yourself.
Exactly.
To do or be or show up where energetically you're not ready for.
Or something has to look a certain way. Take all the pressure off.
Yeah. Until March. And then
get going.
Hit the ground running.
No. No. But yeah.
Enjoy. Ease into the new year. Enjoy the new year. Set this year up for something spectacular.
Playful, creative, successful.
Yeah.
Yes. Set it up how you want it to be.
And also, if you've started each year with the same go, 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 it's a new year, gotta do, gotta be, and if it hasn't worked out the way you wanted, maybe try this year something different.
Do it a little differently. Yes.
Beautiful.
Love it. All right.
We have 2 cards.
We pulled 2 cards.
And I always dread pulling 2 cards because it just...
But sometimes it's right.
Sometimes that's right.
And today it is. Oh, you took both of them.
You want one?
Yeah, I was going to take one.
Okay, take one.
When we pulled 2, one's mine, one's yours.
Okay. Oh. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I think that's probably good. We have a little book with our cards today. Did you see my card?
No.
Okay, are you ready?
You saw mine, though, I think.
I did, yes.
Okay.
My card is release.
Oh.
Yeah. Expansion takes place as we release expectations and worries to a higher power. Breathing deeply, we can enjoy the freedom of releasing pent-up energy and concerns that bind our mental and emotional resources. Let the universe hold the load that's been weighing you down. Release.
How more perfect for
your card.
For this year, for starting 2026.
Yeah.
Release.
Well, and literally talking about shedding in 2025, right? Releasing, letting go.
Yeah. Yeah.
To come into the new year and let go, release, let the universe hold it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was going to bring that one up too.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. I'll let you read it.
Okay.
So mine is responsibility.
I love it. We are our own keepers. It's important to own the authority over our lives and take responsibility, being mindful of those who depend on us. Being fully accountable for our actions earns us the trust and loyalty of those we care for.
And that speaks completely to me in what I learned with 2025 and how I am moving into 2026. As I said, I'm coming from me. And that is taking responsibility fully for me and my actions and those that are around me.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Wow. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Release And responsibility.
Don't release responsibility.
Oh,
Release the past.
and what doesn't serve you, what's not aligned, and take responsibility for.
We can enjoy the freedom of releasing pent-up energy and concerns. And being fully accountable for our actions earns us the trust and loyalty of those we care for.
Beautiful.
I hope that was a lovely beginning of 2026 message for you guys. We hope you enjoyed today's episode as usual. If you're not following us on Instagram, you should at 4Bodies, and check out Stacy's website too. There's a lot on there that you probably don't know about.
Right.
So take a look.
Yep. And as always,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Be well.
And be balanced.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for listening. This episode is for educational purposes only. The information is not intended to give medical advice or therapy. Please consult with a licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Also know that you are responsible for your life choices and circumstances. Until next time,
be well
and be balanced. Bye.
Bye.